So on the 23rd of January, I sold over $400,000 in profit on this Toshi position that I have, which is pretty much the entire position besides a 5% moon bag. And the price that I sold it at was right here in this blue-red box region. And the 3 days after I sold Toshi, the value of that portfolio, if I was to not sell it, went to about $2 million US. So by me selling Toshi 3 days early after holding it for over a year, I missed out on an extra $1.5 million US in profit. And making $500,000 on a meme coin is obviously a W, but missing out on a pretty easy $1.5 million for just not being able to hold it another 3 days is a bit of a fuck up. And when you have big losses like this in crypto, it's not a loss, but it's a potential profit I could have made very easily. There is a lot of lessons and insights that you learn. And I think if you watch this video, I'm going to go over some of the lessons, and I think you're going to get a lot of value from this video, because you will eventually at some point, if you do crypto correctly, be in a similar position to me, and you will want to avoid the mistake that I made, because it has cost me literally millions of dollars. Okay? I sold it a little bit too early, and there's a whole reason behind why I sold it, and it's annoying because I actually put a video out talking about Toshi as my #1 meme coin for this bull run. And I bought Toshi at a $2 million market cap, and I actually put it on my Twitter account, if I could show you guys quickly. I put the original video that I made back onto Twitter to show you guys the original thesis that I made. You can see here that I bought Toshi at a 2.2 million market cap. I bought 1% of the total supply, and Toshi ran on this recent rally all the way up to 900 million market cap. So that's a 300x in terms of the price difference, but I obviously haven't held it the entire way. I do still hold a moon bag of about 40k US Solana, sorry, not Solana, 40k US Toshi. But yeah, a painful lesson overall, and I learned a lot. And I want to give you these lessons now. So one of the biggest lessons that I learned was that when you hodl a bag, a coin that you're holding for over a year, if the coin does nothing for a year and you've just been holding it for this time and it's getting very frustrating, you're probably losing conviction in the coin, you're going to want to exit it as soon as possible. And that's what happened with Toshi, right? Rode it up from 2 million market cap to a 300 million market cap on this first rally that you can see back sort of in 2024, you know, buying it down in this region, riding it up to here, and then for an entire year, Toshi basically did nothing except for little exit scam pumps and then retracing. And so after this entire year of shit, you get a little bit impatient. You're like, man, I just can't wait for this coin to pump a bit and I'll sell it. And that's the mindset that I got into. I was like, you know, Toshi hit 170 million market cap. I'm in a great profit, made $500,000 doing basically nothing, just holding a token that I had a lot of conviction in, put in 15k US when I originally bought it. You know, this is a great time to sell, and that's what I did. And I let that impatience of a thesis taking a long time to play out get to me and cloud the objective thinking of what the reality was of the situation. And I want to talk about what the reality of the situation was and what I didn't see in the moment. And that was that a Coinbase listing was more bullish than just the front running of the listing. When I looked at Toshi getting a Coinbase listing, what I thought to myself is that once Toshi gets listed, it's going to dump, right? The listing is purely just a marketing stunt that's going to get front run, and there's going to be no additional buyers once Toshi gets listed. And that was obviously completely wrong, because once Toshi got listed, that was when the pump began, right? So the announcement of the listing was about here, and then it pumped, 60 million market cap to about 170, so it went 3x, right? And I thought, okay, fully priced in. But then it got listed here on the 23rd of January, and then it went from 180 million market cap up to, at its peak, about 900 million, now currently at 550 million. And so what I fucked up basically was I saw the Coinbase listing as a buy the rumor, sell the news event, But the reality was it was a buy the rumor and then buy the news event. And I should have been able to anticipate this in advance, because a Coinbase listing is one of the hardest listings that you can get in crypto. And not only that, but when Toshi got listed, Coinbase sent out a notification to all of its users, basically alerting them that Toshi got listed. So on everyone's 100 million people or more on their phone, who's got Coinbase on their phone, who has announcements on, they got a message saying, "Hi, Toshi just got listed." And how many coins have been listed on Coinbase recently? Basically none. So one of the only listings on Coinbase that has happened recently, it's a meme coin, I think it was the smallest market cap project listed on Coinbase. And then to think about the timing of the listing, we just onboarded 400,000 people in a single day onto Phantom Wallet, right, to basically gamble on the Trump meme, right? So we're obviously in a period where there's exit liquidity sort of sloshing around in the market, people wanting to buy things. A lot of people signed up for Phantom, but a lot of would have come onto Coinbase, and they're looking for something to buy. Well, Coinbase just endorsed, one of the only meme coin listing, the smallest coin listing on Coinbase, and that was the exit liquidity coming in. And it's funny because I saw so many people selling Toshi, all up here, so many people selling it, and yet the price kept going higher. And that was a classic example of what we call sort of a PvE environment, a player versus enemy environment, where even if all the early holders of Toshi are selling, the price can still go up because there's all these new people from an entirely different ecosystem separate to ours coming in, pushing the price higher. And I should have known that we were in a sort of period of time in the market where PvE could have taken place, because crypto has always been this, it's 90% of the time PvP, right? We're all versing each other for each other's money. But this one instance with Toshi was a perfect example of the market changing to a PvE environment, where it's sort of everyone in crypto who's smart versing all the idiots on Coinbase who just buy a coin that got put on the exchange because they're all focused on crypto and they've got some money to blow on a meme coin, and this is the only one that Coinbase decided to list. And that sort of ties back again into the last lesson that I have here. Sometimes the event can't be priced in by the market, right? Think about how much, Toshi had the highest volume of anything on Coinbase over the past few days, right? It was higher volume than Bitcoin. It was higher volume than, I think, 70% of the coins on Coinbase being traded put together. So the volume on Coinbase was absolutely insane. And so you think about the volume, the buying that got pushed through to Toshi. Could the market have priced that in? Probably not. Not every event can be priced in by the market, because there's just sometimes simply not enough capital to price something in, right? Sometimes the event is more impactful than people can even front run for. And that's what happened with Toshi. There was so much volume, so much buying on the exchange that there wasn't enough, ability to front run. There wasn't enough capital to front run it. And then that's why the price went higher after the listing. Now, another lesson that I learned is number 4, fractals are actually really important to help you understand what price is going to do and what the market is going to react sort of about a situation. So Degen got listed I think it was October. I drew a line here. I'll show you guys. Degen got listed on Coinbase a few months ago on October 14th. Okay, October 15th. And on the listing, the price dumped. And then it went through like a 24-day accumulation period, and then the price rallied. And so this is what everyone in the market essentially would have been looking at. And so people would have been buying Toshi on the day of the listing, or when the Toshi got listed, they would have been buying the dip in anticipation of this. And so because people are looking at this fractal, they are going to be speeding up the speed at which this fractal plays out, because people are going to buy earlier than they did with Degen. They're going to go, okay, so after 24 days, Degen pumped. So Toshi listing, maybe I should buy after 5 days of the listing, or 3 days, or maybe I should buy immediately. And then that's what happened. So people front ran the Degen fractal, and that sort of helped pump the price immediately. And so I sold Toshi just, the day before it got listed, thinking, oh, once it gets listed, it's going to dump and it's going to just keep going down. If I had seen the degen fractal, which I should have, I didn't see it, unfortunately, and I would have seen, okay, the market's probably going to bid Toshi on the listing because they're going to front run the degen fractal. I would have held, and I would have been able to secure, easily at least another $500,000 in profit. Okay, and so that's another mistake that I made. One thing that I learned as well is that you should always leave a moon bag. I did leave a moon bag. I kept 5% of my original Toshi position, and I made an extra, I don't know, like 30, 40K just from keeping a moon bag. So that was a good lesson. Always keep a moon bag. Never fully sell one of these positions. You should always keep a little bit just in case, because it also helps you cope with, obviously I missed out on 1.5 million, but it helps me sleep a little bit at night that I kept a 5% moon bag. Oh, at least I made 50K, right? Doing nothing, just keeping a moon bag. So it is helpful with that in that regard. Another thing that I learned, in future, when I exit a meme play, I want to spread out the selling over multiple days, especially when you own like a solid chunk of a meme coin supply and there might be liquidity problems. What I did was I sold the entire, and I can show you guys right here. This is the money that I deposited into Coinbase, because once I sold the meme, I sent it to Coinbase. I had 3 wallets with Toshi, and I did 3 separate deposits on the 23rd of January when I sold. If I had, this is a large amount of Toshi to sell in about the span of 2 hours is what I did it in. If I would have spread it out over multiple days, I would have actually captured significantly more upside selling it as the market was pumping later on. So in future, I'm going to try to spread my selling out on these sort of bigger positions that I have to try to, get a better average and exit price instead of doing it all in one go. And yeah, another lesson, it's tough to get exchange listings like Coinbase aren't always a buy the rumor, sell the news event. Sometimes in the right market environment, there is significant upside post-listing. You should also be careful selling the first big exchange listing when there hasn't been one for a while, plus your late cycle with exit liquidity. One Coinbase notification drove millions and millions of inflow. So yeah, that's something else to, we sort of talked about that before as well. But overall, the Toshi situation, the coin of Toshi made me a lot of money. I can't complain that I did $500,000 basically just buying a coin and doing nothing. Can't complain. That's life-changing money for most people. But you should always be trying to reflect on your decisions and trying to improve as an investor. At the end of the day, Toshi will eventually die 90, 95%, and most people who bought it end up in a loss. So if you're able to get out of this coin in a massive profit, you have done really well, even if you sold early. But this video was just good to film for me because I think there's a lot of lessons you could have learned from if you sold this early alongside me, or if you're trying to sort of avoid making the same mistake as me going forward in the future. So yeah, that's the end of the video. I hope you learned something new as well. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one, hopefully, with the abstract thesis is actually the next video. So that'll be the next potential 100x play for you guys. So yeah, talk soon.